"54 million people live in our cities. 240 times a year they ride on transit vehicles. 13 billion transit rides. No other commodity or service is purchased so frequently. Not loaves of bread, not even postage stamps. Horse and buggy days are gone, but horse and buggy streets remain. Smoother and a little wider perhaps, but still cast in the mold of horse and buggy days. Yet city population has doubled, frequency of travel has multiplied, and the same number of people who used to ride home in one streetcar now battle their way through traffic in 40 automobiles. A tough problem, yes, but it is transit's opportunity. A glance at the past may help us project this present opportunity. By the turn of the century, electric cars were making memories of a horse car. Then came the glorious era of growth. Small cities grew large, and large cities became metropolitan centers as the lifeblood of electric transit flowed through their arteries. Transit prospered and used its resources to expand its vital service. Then came the private automobile, competition, a force such as transit had never before experienced. Soon automobiles were rolling off production lines and into the streets by the million. The curve of transit patronage flattened, wavered, dipped downward. Then the catastrophe of 29. And the curve of transit patronage skidded down, down, down. To transit, a public utility with rigid limitations on earnings and much of its equipment obsolete, private competition was a heavy blow. Depression was tragedy. But courage has not been lacking. Behind the scenes during the lean years, transit leaders, engineers, and businessmen have worked and planned. They have faced this fact. Only by winning back these millions of people who no longer use public transit can they again build up their earnings. Today, in the heat of the traffic battle, millions of transit prospects are born. Millions of businessmen desperate to escape the rush hour jam. Millions of housewives anxious to avoid the futile search for parking space. Millions of workers ready to abandon the traffic battle. And in electric power, the power as modern as tomorrow, transit has found the answer. Luxurious transportation at low cost. Already, the new electrical standard of travel is winning success in cities throughout the nation. It would be difficult for you to call on all these cities, so we bring some of them to call on you. "40 years ago in a Dayton workshop, two brothers, bicycle repairmen by trade, toiled away on a strange-looking contraption. Then one day in December 1903 on the windswept dunes of the Kitty Hawk, Orville and Wilbur Wright electrified the world with the first successful airplane flight. The spirit of transportation progress is still alive in Dayton. Today, this city of 200,000 is served by 6 transit companies. In 1933, Dayton's first electric coach rolled into service. Today, not one, but 3 of the transit companies have trolley coach fleets in operation, and a 4th is making arrangements to install these modern electric vehicles. And here is one of the Oakwood Dayton Street Transit Company's beautiful new coaches letting its passengers off at the curb near the main entrance of the National Cash Register Company. Let's pause for a moment at this world-famous plant. Here, thousands of cash registers and calculating machines are produced, precision instruments which day after day measure the flow of the world's business. Naturally, they are powered electrically. This electric coach of the Dayton Street Transit Company is still as quiet, smooth starting, and swift as the day it rolled into service 4 years ago. Because the performance of electric motors does not weaken with age. It is easy to understand why passengers continue to patronize vehicles that stay young as the years roll by. Since these new electric coaches replaced old streetcars on one line of the People's Railway Company, patronage has increased 35%, operating cost has decreased 12%, and net earnings have increased approximately 7 cents per vehicle mile, proof of trolley coach popularity. During the first year after trolley coaches began operation on the Oakwood-Dayton line, net earnings increased 60%. Recently, General Manager Weingartner said, "Something comparable to the comfort and convenience of the private automobile must be offered in the public carrier. The trolley coach, with its quietness, speed, comfort, and what might be termed its unexplainable rider appeal, is the means to this end." Columbus, home of Ohio State, where football fans can always depend on the speed, action, and championship form of Big Ten teams. And Columbus' team of transit champions are ready to give their fans the thrill of a modern electric ride. Fine-looking trolley buses. Uh-oh, my mistake. Trolley coaches. Call them buses, but be ready to pay your fine if Morgan Evan hears you. An end run around slow traffic or a nimble dodge through close quarters is easy for the trolley coach. Columbus knows that it is smart merchandising to keep coaches glossy and bright, and asked Superintendent Hott about reliability. 18 of Columbus trolley coaches have run 1,100,000 miles with only 2 pull-ins chargeable to motors or control. Result? Net earnings of 4 3/4 cents per vehicle mile for electric coaches compared with 1 6/10 cents for the old cars they replaced. Milwaukee. And is there a bucket in the house? Yes, an electric motor stirs the mix. And in the bottling plant, more electrical equipment controls the filling, caps the steinies, and drives the conveyors that send out not one beer for one, but millions of cool, refreshing drinks for millions of thirsty throats. And for refreshing transportation, naturally, Milwaukee chose electric coaches. Immediately, riding increased 50%. Backing the luxurious new service with aggressive merchandising, Milwaukee steadily held this fine increase. Consequently, less than 6 months after the first fleet of 30 rolled into service, Milwaukee placed an order for 44 more, a splendid example of a public service company selling electricity as well as transportation, who believes in the superiority of the electric way and proves it by modernizing its transit electrically. So set 'em up, Joe. And here's to Milwaukee, where the transportation is as cool, refreshing, and snappy as the beer they brew so well. Covington, in the land of sunshine and bluegrass pastures, where the sons of great racing horses like Man o' War are growing into frisky colts who will soon prance to the post midst brass bands and cheering crowds. And in Covington, it's a great day for another kind of thoroughbred. 21 glistening new trolley coaches are lined up and ready to show the world that swift getaway at the traffic light helps to win transit riders, just as swift getaway at the barrier helps to win horse races. And the speeches begin, and the crowd gathers around. Well, here's Bill Sawyer from New York, a trolley coach booster, Jim Tretton from Indianapolis, and Morgan Evans from Columbus. General Manager Phil Vondersmith of the Covington Company presents the new trolley coaches to Mayor Nolman and the citizens of Covington. Pretty Elizabeth Nolman unties the ribbon, and the electric thoroughbreds are on their way. Old Kentucky leads the parade, 40 years young, thanks to electric power that keeps vehicles spry long after gingerbread trimmings have gone out of fashion. Then a modernized car of younger vintage. And we're all going down to Latonia to see the races and let the fans feast their eyes on these glossy new transit champions. Everybody rode free to Cincinnati the next day, and the fact that they paid on the return trip didn't dampen their enthusiasm. They poured out of one coach and into another, making several round trips, for this was a new thrill in transportation. Up and down the ramps of the Dixie Terminal, the coaches rolled all day, filled to the doors. It's too early to give actual figures on increased patronage, but these electrical thoroughbreds are odds-on favorites to win. Indianapolis. Here, once a year, powerful, low-slung racers roar for 500 miles over the world's most famous speedway. Less spectacular, yet as worthy of fame, is the city's modern transit system. 5 years ago, public transit here was a drab necessity, used by those who had no other way to go. Today, the average daily patronage is 215,000, as contrasted with a daily average of 160,000 in 1932. President Chase of the Indianapolis Railways reviews construction progress on his $750 million shop and garage, the final project in a great modernization program which has in 5 years given Indianapolis a complete new transit system, including 152 electric coaches. New trolley coaches, new streetcars, and new buses went into service at the same time. The patronage increase on the electric coach lines was more than double that on the car and bus lines. Patronage has increased so rapidly that despite higher operating costs due to more frequent service and rising prices, net earnings in 1936 were 111% greater than 1932, enough to pay all bond interest, interest on equipment notes, and full depreciation charges. With modern electric vehicles backed by real merchandising, the Indianapolis Railways are successfully meeting automobile competition. Flint. Here in the plant of the world's largest manufacturer of automobiles, machines that use 77 million kilowatt hours a year send a fine new motor car off the assembly line every 55 seconds. Every one is a reason for transit men to keep on their toes. Well, a Kentucky newspaper. Good news travels fast. Already, General Manager Baumgarten of Flint's Transit Company is reading about the Covington celebration. You bet he approves. For just a year ago, he had the pleasure of reading this headline in the Flint Journal, and today, this emblem appears on the 46 handsome new electric coaches that roll over his modern inspection pits. In 1935, Flint's Transit Company, their franchise long expired, strung up a few blocks of double trolley, rented a modern trolley coach, and gave free demonstration rides to the public. Then one day in June, 10,000 Flint voters went to the polls and approved by a landslide majority of 6-1 the company's plan to give trolley coach service. Producers of modern private transportation, they readily recognized modern public transportation. Trolley coaches easily handle the peaks from the auto plants. With advertising, direct mail, personal calls, and other merchandising methods, this alert company is filling up the valleys in its daily load curve. Already, patronage is running 20% higher than last year, with only a 5% increase during peak load periods. It's Derby Day at Churchill Downs, and the world's finest two-year-olds are thundering down the stretch. And down this Louisville street speeds the world's finest transit, powered for performance by this great hydroelectric plant's at Ohio Falls. It takes unlimited reserve power instantly available to give a big transit vehicle performance such as this. When electric getaway and speed are combined with the ability to swing around obstructions, you have a vehicle that is unexcelled for modern traffic conditions. Today on this Louisville line, the increase in patronage is running more than 4 times the increase on the rest of the entire system. One morning 77 years ago, the first Pony Express sped out of St. Joe and across the prairie carrying the mail west. The Pony Express station is still standing, and past its doors these electric ponies carry on at the brisk tempo that has made St. Joseph a busy city where the vast grain fields of the West are converted in modern electrified mills. In 1932, before the St. Joseph Railway Power and Light Company began its modernization program, they decided to make comparative tests between a modern trolley coach and motor bus. The way the electric coach sailed up this 9.5% grade won a landslide vote of preference from residents along the line. Sometimes homeowners, although favoring electric coaches, fear that new trolley lines will disfigure their trees. Judge for yourself whether modern line wire has marred the beauty of this lovely residential thoroughfare. Atlanta in the red Georgia hills of Gone with the Wind. Today in Atlanta, you find proud traditions and fine culture successfully blended with our 20th century tempo. Atlanta's homes combine the charm of the Old South with an electrical standard of living surpassed in few of our nation's cities. Not in a few picked homes, but in 149,000 homes throughout Georgia. The use of electricity in 1936 was 67% ahead of the national average. And on June 25, 1937, Special Edition saluted the Georgia Power Company for a new era in transportation. 24 new electric coaches connecting downtown Atlanta with the suburban towns of East Point, College Park, and Hapeville had just rolled into operation. Said President Arkwright of Georgia Power, "We are providing for a considerable increase in patronage because we feel that a great many people who now use their own automobiles will in the future prefer to ride the trackless trolleys," wrote the editor of Atlanta's Suburban Reporter. Trackless trolleys mean to us a quick, quiet, economical ride and a comfortable trip to the city, faster moving traffic, a wider highway, and life-saving by accident prevention. Youngstown, the steel city. White-hot billets shoot through the rolling mills. Back and forth they crash and rumble, deep tones in the symphony of a great industry. The production of steel at constantly lower cost has given Americans a standard of living far surpassing that enjoyed anywhere else in the world. And electric power has in a large measure made this possible. And now meet General Manager Muldoon of Youngstown Municipal Railway Company. He and his boss, R.N. Graham, are well pleased with their new fleet of electric coaches. Before electric coaches were ordered, Youngstown's newspaper editors and city councilmen were encouraged to visit other electric coach cities. Consequently, it was with wholehearted public approval when this alert transit company replaced 9 old streetcars and 25 gasoline buses with new electric coaches. These coaches are the largest ever built. Not only do they handle the heavy industrial peak loads with ease, but they are also building up off-peak riding, for in addition to electric speed and quietness, they offer the roominess so necessary for comfort. Today, revenue per vehicle mile is running 20% higher, operating costs per vehicle mile are 10% less, and schedules are 10% faster. That means better earnings and better service in Youngstown. Cleveland, city of diversified industry, where the versatile hand of electric power is helping to build more and better products for more people at less cost. Nela Park, electric lighting headquarters of the world. Electrical research and engineering have produced increases in lamp efficiency which save the American public $5 million every night. In March 1936, Cleveland's first fleet of 20 electric coaches went into service. 1 year later, 8 more were ordered to take care of the increased patronage. The thrill of a fast, quiet electric ride on rubber has changed transit from a necessity for a few to a highly desirable convenience for many. This comment of a Cleveland newspaper man deserves quoting. Outsprinting automobiles from a standing start, weaving through traffic with the silent smoothness of running water, the Cleveland Railway Company's first new trolley coaches made their debut today. The overwhelming first impression is that of a silence. It moves from standing start to regular running speed without a single interruption or sound of gear. Professor Martin of Case School of Applied Science measured the sounds of all types of vehicles, and he found the trolley coach far quieter than any other transit vehicle. The famous stacks of public service, symbolizing for the people of New Jersey the electrical standard of living and of traveling. Transportation achievements abound in New Jersey. The Pulaski Skyway, spanning the flats between Jersey City and Newark, has reduced motoring time from 14 to 6 minutes. Newark Airport, 10 years ago an expanse of marsh. Today, the world's busiest commercial airfield. 50,000 planes a year roar in and out of this modern port, carrying 300,000 passengers. George Washington Bridge, spanning the Hudson between Manhattan and the Palisades. Yes, New Jersey is alive with transportation progress, and the coordinated transport system of public service stands high among its achievements. This efficient machine not only serves 356 municipalities within the state, but it is also a link in the commuting system which connects New Jersey homes with the skyscrapers of Manhattan. Every morning, public service vehicles gather hundreds of thousands of commuters from the cities of northern New Jersey and deliver them to the electric trains that speed under the river to Manhattan. And every evening, the electric trains roll back into Newark, filled to the doors. Out pour the commuting thousands bound for their homes in a score of New Jersey cities. The great rush hour has begun. Outside, the coordinated transit machine of public service swings into action. Hundreds of electrically driven coaches meet the trains and carry the commuters to their homes, swiftly, safely, and with the precision of a well-trained army. Under the leadership of Vice President Boylan, public service coordinated transport has become one of the world's most modern transit systems. Only one intersection in the world, Times Square in Manhattan, has a heavier flow of traffic than this busy corner at Broad and Market in Newark. Yet public service's fast, powerful, electrically driven vehicles actually set the pace for the traffic stream. All service, the world's most versatile vehicle. At the flick of a switch, it can be transformed from a trolley coach to a gas-electric bus. Thus, on long routes running through several municipalities, the varying trolley line ordinances are easily met. The advantages of the trolley coach are provided wherever riding justifies the investment in overhead. Yet the same vehicle operating as a gas-electric bus will profitably serve areas of lighter traffic. Thus, the total investment in spare vehicles is reduced. Not only do the poles come down automatically at the end of the trolley line, but here you see how the vehicle automatically changes from a gas-electric bus to a trolley coach. Philadelphia is another great city which public service helps to serve. Back and forth across the Delaware River Bridge, gas-electric buses carry thousands of people who have their homes in Camden and their work in Philadelphia. To complete the picture, public service lines also connect these heavily populated centers with other key cities throughout New Jersey, thus forming the nation's largest unified urban and interurban system. Combining merchandising alertness with the versatility of the all-service vehicle, public service has greatly reduced idle vehicle time by developing a profitable charter service to famous New Jersey vacation spots such as Atlantic City. In addition to 2,000 gas-electric buses and 500 all-service vehicles, Public Service is now operating the world's first fleet of diesel-electric buses. The diesel-electric bus combines the fuel economy of the diesel engine with the reliability, smoothness, and ease of control afforded only by electric drive. Alert transit men throughout America are closely watching the diesel-electric bus. To Public Service goes the credit for pioneering this new form of transit and now for proving it in service, thus speeding up its adoption by the industry. Here is Martin Schreiber. He's the daddy of the all-service vehicle, and as usual, he has a new idea for selling rides. This time, it's a new kind of map, which even in the complex cluster of cities served by Public Service, easily enables the passenger to make the best connection. And this is the new pictographic sign which marks the all-service vehicle stops. Signs on the vehicles constantly remind prospective passengers that they will enjoy riding on these swift, silent electric vehicles. Yes, Public Service is a leader in transit merchandising. On a firm foundation of truly modern vehicles, this company has missed no opportunity to build business. And you'll find that a genuine spirit of courtesy and friendliness lies behind this sign in every modern vehicle on the system. Not only in magnitude, but in quality, too. Public Service's modernization is a great achievement. Here, where transit is an absolute necessity, modern electric vehicles have increased patronage 30, 40, and 50% over the old. Years ago, Roger Williams decided that the Puritans were in a rut in the New World, which he believed should progress materially as well as spiritually. So he broke away and founded Providence, where today one of his descendants, Cap Williams, well known to all transit men, still carries on the tradition of progress. 87 of these quiet, speedy electric coaches are now selling rides in Providence and nearby Pawtucket. A scrub and shower bath every other day in this battery of electrically driven brushes and high-pressure water jets keep the coaches glossy and inviting. On the latest electric coach route, schedules are 20% faster, patronage is running 25% higher, and net revenue 65% higher because of the low-cost operation. Philadelphia, the cradle of American liberty. Here in Independence Hall, where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States were written, Benjamin Franklin and his compatriots made famous the words, "We the people." And today in Philadelphia, the desires of we the people are built into the diesel-electric streamliners. Here, too, is the home of the Pennsylvania Railroad, whose electric locomotives carry the heaviest passenger traffic in the world between New York, Philadelphia, and Washington. And on the Oregon Avenue line of the Philadelphia Rapid Transit Company, the oldest continuous trolley coach route in America is in service. In 1935, these modern coaches replaced the old solid-tired trackless trolleys, which had been in service for 12 years. The new coaches have speeded up schedules 75% over the old, from 8 to 14 miles an hour. PRT makes a strong effort to keep Philadelphia's 2 million people informed of its service. This folder, a complete entertainment and amusement guide, is published every 2 weeks and has a circulation of 300,000 copies per issue. The new coaches have increased revenue 20%, and the Philadelphia Rapid Transit Company's plans for immediate modernization include many more electric coaches. 150 feet above the Delaware River, cars of the recently completed bridge line link Philadelphia and neighboring Camden in less than 7 minutes. Unlike other locations where new rapid transit cars have been introduced, this is an entirely new service. Previously, the two cities were connected only by ferries and a number of bus lines operating over the bridge. Today, too, the Philadelphia Rapid Transit, a pioneer user of hundreds of gas-electric buses, has in trial service modern gas electrics of several builders to assist in formulating modernization plans which call for many new gas electric buses as well as trolley coaches and President's conference cars. San Francisco, city of great bridges and breathtaking hills. Here, electric transit, such as these cars pulled by electrically driven cables that move beneath the street, has met no equal. 2 years ago, 8 new trolley coaches began rolling up these heavy grades with all the grace and ease of a mountain goat. It takes plenty of power and agility, too, to send a big transit vehicle up this heavy grade and around a hairpin turn halfway up. Patronage on this line is running 100% greater than 2 years ago. One big reason, the ability of this fully loaded electric coach to beat a taxicab up this 12.5% grade. Across the bay, President Lundberg of the Key System shows Vice President Vargas a scale model of the San Francisco ramps and terminal out of which their new high-speed electric trains will soon glide across the new San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Already 24 of the 88 new articulated units are in connecting service with the ferry. When service begins across the bridge, continuous cab control signals will enable 10 car trains to speed out of San Francisco on 63-second headways. After crossing the bridge, the 2 car units will uncouple automatically and quickly deploy to the various routes serving the residential areas beyond. Already the new units have pushed operating costs down 17%. When the system is completed, you will see the results of smooth, quiet electric service comparable to that of a modern streamliner. Portland, the city of roses. And you will find Portland's homes as lovely as their rose gardens. For in this land of snow-capped mountains and rushing rivers, electric power is truly a home product, and the electrical standard of living is among the highest in the world. Out of the city's harbor, ships laden with lumber, the Northwest big industry, steam down the Columbia River to the sea. And today in the timber country, electric power is as much a part of the lumbering picture as hobnailed boots. Husky electric locomotives haul the logs through the mountains and down to the mills, where electric motors swing the carriages and drive the saws that produce the finished lumber. And today, these handsome new electric coaches provide a large part of the transportation for Portland's 300,000 people. In the City Hall, Mayor Carson and Vice President Lyons of the Portland Traction Company review the campaign which brought trolley coaches to Portland in 1935. The Traction Company, hard hit by depression and without a franchise for 3 years, strung up a 2-block demonstration line and ran a trolley coach for 4 months, giving free rides to 500,000 passengers. As a result, 70,000 Portland voters went to the polls and approved the franchise plan, which offered them a modern transit system, including 140 new electric coaches. Patronage on the electric coach lines is running 25% higher than a year ago when old streetcars were in service. Schedules are as much as 40% faster. In Eastmoreland, home building has boomed, and here's the big reason. Homes with the electrical standard of living, streets with the electrical standard of traveling. Shreveport, a prosperous city of 85,000 in the center of the world's greatest oil-producing area. Black gold flows from the fabulous East Texas, Rodessa, and Caddo pools nearby, and natural gas, too, is abundant. The Southwestern Gas and Electric Company uses gas in enormous quantities as fuel for generating the low-cost electricity which powers the drilling, pumping, and refining operations of the oil industry. And meet Mayor Caldwell on his way to the City Hall from his home in Shreveport's newest suburb. The mayor and his neighbor, Mr. N.B. Storr of the Shreveport Real Estate Board, are proud of the 150 new homes in this section, which 1 year ago, before the new electric coach line went in, was a country meadow. That is how home building, measure of a city's true prosperity, has been stimulated by modern electric rides, plus salesmanship that has actually made it fashionable to use public transportation. In Shreveport, too, a landslide public vote resulting from a free ride demonstration paved the way for this first 5 trolley coaches in 1931. Since then, 6 repeat orders have increased Shreveport's rubber-tarred electric fleet to 44 swift, quiet electric rides backed by lively merchandising, minstrel shows, hourly radio announcements, sales cards, and a spirit of pride and salesmanship throughout the organization has boosted patronage to a point more than 100% higher than it was in 1931. And this has been done in a small city where the prospective user of transit is far more critical than in a large city. Good morning, Mr. Jacobs. You are president of the Shreveport Railways. We've just told briefly how you changed an obsolete and bankrupt transit system into a real public service and made it fashionable for the colonel's lady as well as Judy O'Grady to use public transit. Now we think that a few pictures showing a pioneer user of electric coaches enjoying his vacation might inspire other transit men who are planning modernization programs. The new electrical standard of travel. Let's dissect it and look at its component parts. Speed. When the traffic light says go, the electric coach sprints out like a greyhound, thanks to the unlimited supply of electric power from the trolley. And this new streamliner on the street will stop, start, and travel through traffic faster than any other transit vehicle. Acceleration higher than that of a modern automobile. The passenger saves his time and nerves while the motorist looks or pays for parking space. Quietness. With only the hum of electric motors and the whisper of rubber tires, this modern electric coach is unbelievably quiet. Passengers relax and rest. This Chicago hospital praises the electric coaches which spin silently past its doors, and residents along the line are boosters for transit service. This streetcar, too, is unbelievably quiet, with wheels built of live rubber and steel and a body that literally floats on springs of rubber. Fresh air. The clean, fresh air of an electric ride is another big reason for the popularity of the new trolley coaches and silent streamlined cars. Clean, odorless electric power safeguards the comfort and well-being of passenger and driver. Comfort. In summer, modern electric vehicles provide a cool, refreshing ride. In winter, an unlimited supply of electric heat, thermostatically controlled, assures warmth in all parts of the vehicle. Comfort for the driver, too. No gears to shift, no clutch to operate. Accelerator and foot brake give him complete control. Beauty. Modern electric vehicles are their own salesmen. Trim streamlining makes them look as speedy as they are. Not only do they have the inviting appearance to attract new riders, but also the quietness, speed, and limousine comfort to make regular patrons. Sleek, glossy contours, wide aisles, deep cushioned seats, splendid ventilation. These features combine with electric performance to make the modern vehicle super salesman of ride. Smoothness, the gliding start of a swan. A smooth flow of velvety electric power enables these modern electric vehicles to accelerate faster than most modern automobiles, yet with perfect comfort to passengers. Watch these passengers walk down the aisle as the coach picks up speed. There is no jerking, no wild grabbing for handholds. It's smooth sailing in modern electric vehicles. Dependability. Dependable as an electric clock. Not only do the modern electric coaches meet with instant popularity, but the advantages of the trolley line are soon realized. Property and rental values improve and building is stimulated in communities served by electric coaches because residents feel assured of on-time service now and years from now. Luxurious transportation and at popular prices. That is what transit companies can now offer an ever more discriminating public. And this has been achieved through electric power. A new era in city transportation has begun. Modern electric vehicles will increase earnings by making customers of those who do not now use transit service. Their operating economy will turn more of this increase into net than will any other vehicle. Their performance will enhance transit value to the community by relieving traffic congestion, increasing safety, and stimulating prosperity. Yes, moving the millions again becomes a genuine public service and a paying business with the new electrical standard of travel.